He gives this team a different kind of stability to that back line and allows them to play more in transition. Keep an eye on Joseph Paintsill and his ability to stretch the game with his pace. Marco Royce operating as a false nine. Third, Guilherme's been the star of the show, and Andre Lingo getting just his 4th start to lead the line as a number 9.
The Dynamo get us underway, attacking from left to right. Hector Herrera getting a rare start, the veteran. Ball from Nelson inside. Tommy, Peck offering out wide. Tommy goes for goal! That one bounced awkwardly. Bond with a good save in the end. Marcel giving go. Paintsill trying to get the cross. And Carlos, that was kept just in.
He does that, plus he has the end product to go along with it.
Tries to play his ball in here. Matty Bogusz, that one holds up. Bogusz gets to be on the goalkeeper, and it's off the line. Marcinkowski in no man's land, and he gets a bit of help from Hack.
But that's case in point. That ball comes from Guilherme because he has the range of passing. I love the run from Matty Bogusz, though, to attack.
Guilherme almost getting a flick to that one. Being open and entertaining here early on. Royce trying to get that one in behind for Paintsill. He's got daylight. Paintsill could go for goal. One-on-one with Bond. Big save, and the rebound is cleared by an alley. Paintsill claiming there was a touch after he played that ball.
When you have this kind of player who has that kind of getaway pace, you got to lay him, you got to play them in space. Marco Royce puts
the killer peas, as you labeled it.
Oh, the killer peas back for 2024.
It's an incredible run to the title for LA Galaxy without Ricky Pooch since. Oh. That one goes towards an impact, it's off the post. Winder was the closest to it. He was about a yard out.
It makes it so hard to defend. And Elijah Winder, I mean, he has the defender beat.
Back for Cerrillo. It's a more delicate little chip. Yamane, he's not offside, pulls it back. Paintsill must score, he does. Now the flag goes up.
So far in this match, this time they're made to pay the price. Such a clever ball from Cerrillo. But now it's about Yamane picking his head up. Galaxy have different options. The referee has been summoned to take a look to see exactly what we were just talking about.
I still feel on this on a replay it's clear. I don't know if it's necessary for the referee to take another look, but he is going to do just that. A little bit of help from Kevin Stott as well. But you were clear straight away. First replay, goal.
I mean, look at Yamane. He's in an onside position. Initially, it looked as though, I think it's Eric Tommy who starts in an offside position. But it's Yamane who impacts the play, and Joseph Paintsill is obviously in an onside position. To me, this is going to be given as a goal.
Referee taking a measured approach. We'll now hear the decision of Lorenzo Hernandez.
After review, number 2 from LA Galaxy was in an onside position. Final decision is goal.
Herrera. McGlynn. Threads that one through with his right foot. Good ball. Chance to go for goal, and it's in. Just like that, the level.
Compliment to the Galaxy, but what a ball that is. Good entry ball from Jack McGlynn. And then
I'm more confident from Houston Dynamo in this second half so far. Knocking the ball around with a bit of purpose here. McGlynn on the left foot. What a save. Marcinkowski, fingertip stop. You just cannot give Jack McGlynn that kind of space. A bit of indecision there from Lawrence and Ali. Longer service towards Bogusz. Takes it in stride really well. Matty Bogusz creates a yard, well goes for goal, and that one's deflected over. Glesnes stayed with him, but that was...
This game's starting to open up now.
More space for this man as well. Ponce making a run central. Bogusz trying to go, and Hack goes for goal. Marcinkowski with a save. Guilherme to Paintsill, and Bond came out. Now he's in no man's land. Paintsill gets in behind, goes down. Referee's a long look. No penalty. Bond, what on earth was he thinking, the goalkeeper? Cerrillo, and that one right up on, then he makes up for it with a save. Mike Felipe Andrade, acrobatic to clear that one. Cross in towards the far post. Peck! Punched away at that near post by Bond. Comfortable save in the end. Gabriel Peck lofts one up towards the far post. And that one's cleared, and that will be the final action. A first half in which the Galaxy were in the ascendancy and got the opening goal through Painsil Guilherme.
Ben, just your thoughts about tonight clash.
Good point. Good point for this group, considering the run we've been on, and the guys that have extended minutes, the overtime in St. Louis, a little bit of a bounce back. Certainly resilient tonight. Bondi made some saves, and there were, again, just a lot of gutsy performances on our end, and that's what it takes here. This place is hard. They're coming here and getting anything is never easy. Certainly in my past, and they're a good team, and Peck and Paintsill are an absolute handful. And I thought, again, we made some plays on them, and they found some joy too. And I just thought overall it was just kind of a resilient performance from us to get something out of it.
Christian, head coach, Jim Alexander here with Real Talker. I'm curious, going into the break, this is going to be a long center break for everyone, but how important is it to get points and have some positive momentum, even though the guys are going to be off for a while, but sort of knowing that at least it's not on a sort of somber note with no points or whatnot?
Well, a point feels better than 0. 3 would have felt really good. But I think that this last month and a half, I think we've been in a good way. And I think there's been some momentum building with this group. We still have a ways to go, and I think we've only really found ourselves the last month and a half. And I'm looking forward to getting back with this group and building on that in the preseason.
You think now there's a lot of guys that are new to the club this season to integrate. Do you think they're sort of, you got them to play the way you want to play the ball? Do you think the cohesion is there at this point in the season, or there's still more?
We got a lot to grow on here, but as I said, I think we've leveled off and we found who we are in the last month and a half, and we've been able to pick up some points and be in a pretty good spot going into this break. So I'm happy about that. I think the guys are excited about what's going on here, and but it's a little bit bizarre, to just stop now and leave for 3 weeks and have this looming World Cup here. And it's something that I haven't experienced as a coach with this mid-year break, and they haven't either. So we'll see. It'll be, but it'll go quick. The 3 weeks will go quick, and we'll be back at it.
And finally, guys going to have a mandatory 2 weeks off pretty much for everyone. What can you do during that time? Do you feel like you're just getting away from the games for everyone, for the staff to clear their minds, or sort of you're going to be doing some behind the scenes, preparation?
Yeah, work for a week and, get away with the family as well, and hit a World Cup game or two and get back to work. Good.
All right, let's go on Zoom now. Herman, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Herman.
It seems like Galaxy were ready for the Dynamo counterattacks. You talked about their transition defense.
They were ready for our transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think you saw the second half. You saw some tired legs on both teams, and it started to get stretched. And I thought we were, in that moment in time, we had some tired legs, and some of the quality suffered, and maybe there was times to step on the ball and have more possession in their end to get more high percentage looks. But I would say, look, over the course of the game, they were more dangerous in their transition moments. Again, with Paintsill and Peck, they're nasty. And, but we also played 120 minutes Tuesday. So let's keep that in mind here as we watch Lawrence and Felipe and what they did, and Resch and Antonio and already, this was Guilherme and Bogusz. Some of these guys just put 4 games in a row, and so for their performance to dig in this way to get a result tonight, I'm really proud of.
Yes, sir. And how important is having back Artie, in the midfield? I feel like it unlocks your midfield a little bit more. For example, tonight allows Jack and Hector to kind of push up a little bit more?
I thought Hector had a really good night, and Artie and Hector's relationship is they've got history, and so they understand each other. Jack, it was a great response from Jack tonight. You know, it was an emotional day yesterday for him, and just for him to kind of put a performance on tonight like that, that shows where his head's at. You know, he's still in this thing, and I was proud of his performance too.
And then lastly, from me, good to see Samaseku out there back on the pitch and putting some minutes for the team.
It was wonderful, and we saw him all week, so that's kind of the first time you guys are seeing him out there. So he had a lot of support from his teammates and our medical staff, and they patched him up quicker than we thought, and it was good to see him out there.
Thank you, Coach Charles.
Thanks.
Thank you, Herman. Victor?
Yeah, Coach, what did you think of Guillermo's goal, and what else can you add to his outstanding start to the season?
Yeah, this is why we went and purchased players of this caliber. You know, Maddie's the same. Maddie's not putting the numbers up, but he's also, a guy that's doing some a lot of things for this team. And Guillermo is, again, whether it's the goal scoring, which is important, his ability to provide, his ability to break pressure, or again, he's different. And you see him, and he's fun to watch, and he's got he's the moment, when the lights come on, he's a showman. So I think this is obviously a really good player for this club, and happy that he's putting up the numbers because we need it. But that's what you expect out of these guys that come from big teams, big leagues, and our DPs.
I'm sure you'd like focus numbers to get better. I know you're still trying to figure out, which one, Ponce Linger, but are you excited about what this potential attacking trident could be in this league for the rest of the season?
Yes. Yeah, I think as we figure this, we go through a preseason. I think there's some specific things that we want to work on in the preseason, and it's, again, finish out attacks and some relationships and some buildings and more pattern work within what we now have as, I think, a good starting point. And that's going to hopefully help guys like Maddie and Ponce and Linger get on the board more. So that's, that's on me and our staff. And we've got 5 weeks to kind of get some of that right. Defensively, we've been pretty good. I think we gave up a few too many chances today. I thought we were passive from the get-go. Thought we could have provoked more in our mid-block and made them more uncomfortable. But we kept shrinking, and they're just too good to do that against. So once the goal happened, we snapped out of it. I think we forced us to pull out of our shell, and that's when we were at our best. So we got, there's some things, like, again, I know we got to work on a few things within this, but I'm happy with the point, Victor.
Currently 6th in the West. Just where do you feel the team is going into this break, and what do you feel this team could become, after the break, and you guys having that bit of a preseason sort of, during summer? I
talked about, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. It's so strange, right? You get this first half of the season and we talked about this before the season, it was like to really figure out and tinker, to especially with our group with new guys, and to figure this all out. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that and arriving to this point. But everybody else is in the same boat. Everybody's now going into the summer saying, okay, I need X, I need Y, let's put these 2 players in here. And now you have 5 weeks to work on that. So I think there's going to be some really good stuff coming out of this break with the league, the way it's set up. And it's not like a true off season where there's going to be a lot of rust. It's going to come pretty quickly. You have your 3 weeks. We'll get back, and I think the season will be here before we know it. And but you get this snapshot of your team over 14, 15 games. and then you get to kind of tinker on it. So it's a new challenge for the coaching staff, and one we're looking forward to.
All right, guys. Post-game press conference with midfielder Artur. Artur, just to open up, just your thoughts on tonight's performance.
I think tonight the team did a very good collective job. We came from a very difficult game in St. Louis not just a few days ago, and I think we played against a very good offensive team away, and I think the team adapted well, and if we could have taken some better decisions up the top, maybe we could have created a little bit more and maybe got the 3 points. But I think overall the team did very well, and it's good to keep adding points.
All right. Well, the questions on Zoom. We can start with Artur. Go ahead.
Artur, it's a lot to take in, but it's also the first tie of the season. These points are really important towards the playoffs. But just what else can you comment about this game?
Yeah, I think I talked a little bit about that before the game. We need to find ways, if we can't win the game, not to lose. I think they started the game a little bit better than us. I think we adjusted and reacted and responded well after they scored the goal. And yeah, we're gonna keep pushing from there. I think we had a very good stretch in the last 7 games or something, and we gotta keep building for that. In this break, I think we're gonna watch the games and see what we can improve our game. But I think tonight, after a tough week in this sequence of games that we had, I think the team did a good job.
About a month and a half till your next game. Realistically, maybe you have 2 to 3 weeks off. But how do you plan to use that time off?
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time. I think I'm gonna go to Brazil, visit my family a little bit, but gotta keep working in there, especially because I came back from a knee injury. And I need to keep my body healthy and strong. So it's just a little time to rest a little bit and relax, but also we need to keep the eyes on our objectives for the season, and keep our bodies and mind the best way possible, so we can achieve that.
And last question for me. You guys have played almost half the season now, but just what have you learned from this first half so far?
I think we learned that we are stronger when we are well connected, when we play for each other and we support each other, and we have a very good team. We show that, and we have some different ways that we can attack and how we can build and defend together. And I think that's dangerous when we can counter-attack as well. And the depth we have in the team, it's very important. And I think that's going to help us for the rest of the season.
Thank you, Artur.
Thank you. Thank you.
Herman?
Hey, Artur. To add to that question, what must the Dynamo improve in the second half to be a team at top of the table? What are the areas of improvement for the team going into the second half?
I think we just need to be a little bit more clear when we are up on the opponent's half. I think we get in very good positions, and I think we just gotta connect with each other a little bit more and start scoring some more goals, because I think we have that. We have a very good offensive players, and I think we can score more goals, and also we can I think we can have the ball a little bit more. We have a lot of quality in this team, and But we gotta see what the coach is gonna see. Of course, they watch more games than me, and they watch the training videos and tapes every day, and we trust on what they're gonna give us, and we're gonna keep going from there, everyone together.
And how would you describe your role in this midfield?
I think I give support to the whole team, and the defensive part. On the offensive part, I try to be a part of the build-up and break lines whenever I can, but also to tank a little bit the game when we need to step on the ball and hold a little bit and take a breath and just control the ball. Be a bridge in between the coaches and the locker room, and make sure everyone understand each other in the locker room, and do a little bit of everything in the field. I think I can communicate well with everyone, and I think that's very helpful for the whole team.
And my last one is, you talk about communicate. How easy is it, or you tell me, to have a center back in Antonio Carlos who you can communicate, someone who's experienced, and how's that relationship amongst you three, Antonio Carlos and Agustin Reis, who's kind of stepped into that center back role? You three are in the middle of the pitch and kind of the defense for the team.
It's great. Antonio is a great player. As you said, he's very experienced, and he help us a lot. He's very aggressive, and it's a big presence in the defensive side, and he also can break lines with some passing. That's very important as well, and I think Ago is been growing very much. He's been a very good surprise for us. He's playing very well, as you said. He stepped up on that position, and he's been very good. Antonio Carlos been helping him a lot. I try to help him as well with what I can with communication and giving him confidence. And it's very important this relationship, because we can cover the whole team with that, with me in front and having them covering me and communicating. It makes it very, very easy for the rest of the team.
Thank you, Artur. Enjoy the break, and we'll see you after.
Thank you. I see you.
Victor?
Yeah, Artur, what else can you say about Guilherme and obviously, want to know what your thoughts on this goal?
Victor, Guilherme he's a very talented player. We all can see he's been playing very well. He has a lot of quality. He has good passing. He can dribble past players. He has speed, and whenever we can use that very well and in the best positions and location on the field, it can be very dangerous for the other team and very helpful to us. And I think he can make a difference. We could see today with his goal. It's a beautiful goal, a beautiful finish, and it helped us a lot, because sometimes we need this kind of plays, right? We play against very good teams that are well organized, and sometimes you need players to unbalance them and make some surprises. And I think Guilherme has that.
And then what can you tell us about the combination in midfield, at least to start, UHH and McGlenn today? What's the feeling between you three and the comfort level that sort of seems to be there, at least watching it on TV?
Oh, it's great. It's very good. I think I know Hector already for a while. We had a very good partnership a few years ago, as everyone knows, and we still know each other very well. So it's very easy to play with him. I feel very comfortable, and with Jack adding on that, it's even better. I think we can have a very many ways to move on the field, on the midfield, and hurt the opponent. And I think we did that a lot of times today, especially in the first half. and it's difficult to them for the other team to defend that, and it's easy for me because I can focus on different things, and it's easier for me to understand them, and I can focus on different roles, on balancing the team, and making sure we have a very good rest defense, and so for me it's very comfortable and easy to play with them.
And then the last one, being that it's probably the last time we're going to get to talk to you here for a little while, what are you most excited about this summer here with the World Cup coming up? I know you said you're going back home, but just, your plans to soak in this World Cup and maybe even take in some of the games if you're able to and come back.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the World Cup here. I'm going to try to watch as many games as possible, and I'm gonna try to go to any game in Houston and enjoy it. It's the best and the biggest tournament in the world in the sports, and we just gotta enjoy it. I'm gonna try to learn and enjoy this moment, and I think it's gonna be very important to the sport here in the continent.